So if you're watching this video, you're one of the few people who reached out to me to get that Excel spreadsheet to help you learn how to budget. You now have the tool to help you budget and save some money so you can move forward in life and get yourself out of that debt. But having the tools is one thing. Learning how to use the tools is a whole nother thing. And I'm gonna walk you through how to use it so that way you can get yourself in a better financial position. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into screen record mode right now. I'm gonna blow up my screen. So you're gonna see the first column is money in, and then it's money out. This is your balance, savings. This is extra. You don't have to really have it unless you have a business, but I have a business account. Your 401k if you have one. If you don't have one, that's fine. American Express, that's the American Express savings account that I have. You can have a Bank of America savings account, makes no difference. I just have it named that. And this is credit card and balance. So let's go ahead and start off with the basic stuff, money in. So let's just say right now you have $550 in your account, okay? You know this month you're gonna get paid twice. So you're gonna get paid, I'm just gonna make up some numbers just for easy to be simple, $1,200, okay? So if we lived in a perfect world and you didn't spend any money, you would have $2,950 at the end of the month. But unfortunately we don't, we have expenses. So I'm just gonna go over some basic expenses. Let's just say you have $500 rent because you have a roommate, you have a $250 car payment, you have a credit card that's $700, and then I'm gonna include this because it's important. You need to save 10% of your income. So automatically you should have $120 each time you get paid. That's 10% of $1,200 into your savings account. That's gonna come up here. So yes, it's an expense, but it's actually money that you get to keep. Now, if this is, so again, $500 rent, $250 car payment, $700, that's your credit card, and this is your savings account. Basic. Oh, let's say gym membership, $120 because you go to a fancy gym like a CrossFit or TFL, what up TFL, and then you have $80 for your life insurance and disability. So if you lived with that, let's throw in some car insurance because let's be real. All right, cool. So this is your monthly expenses. So if you stick with this budget, you'd have $950 extra on top of the $240 you've already saved. Now, you may or may not do this, I don't know, but make this a goal. So you wanna be able to know this ahead of time, because if you ever get in a bind, like say you get a flat tire, your car breaks down, you know you got $950 to spare that month because of your expenses. If you have a debt that you need to pay off, you know you have an extra $950 extra to pay off that debt. Now, this is important to do on a weekly basis because things come up. Now, I put everything on my credit card, so that $700 payment includes gas, cell phone, food, going out to eat. You may use your bank account or take out cash to do all this stuff, but I like to keep things simple, and I just put everything on my credit card and I pay off my credit card on a monthly basis, so I never get into any trouble. So when I did have credit card problems, what I ended up doing is I switched all my accounts to a 0 interest for 12 months credit card. So for example, on this case, I would just put I would pay $350 every month until I would pay off that card. So this is a great tool to have, monitor your money, and kind of stick within this budget. I mean, these numbers could be real. Maybe your expenses is a little bit more. I know $500 rent is probably not attainable unless you really do have a couple roommates, and that's probably what it is, but you start really look like in your credit card, maybe $700, maybe that's too low, maybe it's too high. at this point, what it makes you do, it makes you look at your numbers and kind of see where you're spending your money. And then you kind of find what you need versus what you want. And you start to narrow down and start to eliminate that. So that way you have more money to save at the end of each month. So that way you're able to either invest that money into a business or pay off debt, whichever you want to do first. So I hope this works for you. In the future, so that way you can kind of get a better grip on your debt. Let me go over this last part, so this credit card, because that's kind of important. So let's just say your credit card balance is $1,200, that's what your current balance is, but last month's credit card was $750. So that means the following month it's $450. So this is just another kind of tool I have in here just to be like, just to kind of budget and kind of see where you're at. Once you're a midway month, if you're a little bit higher or lower on your credit card, then you kind of start to look, all right, what am I spending my money on? Like for myself, my majority of my expenses is food, gas. That's it. Either buying groceries or going out to eat. And I'm flexible now. I'm at the point now where I can be a little more flexible and I can spend a little bit more. And I don't have to stick with the $750 budget that I just came up with a few years ago. But, again, you look at your spending and you kind of gauge, all right, maybe I can only eat out twice a month versus every week. I know on the weekends, my wife and I will end up going out to eat a little bit more. So, I don't spend anything during the week, but on the weekends, I kind of make up for it. But again, though, we're both mindful of that. So I'm pretty consistent. So at the end of the month, I'm going to end up saving money regardless because one, I'm saving 10% of my income. And two, I'm sticking within this budget right here. So want to make sure when you're going over your numbers is you stick with the plan. Now, if there's a time frame that you only have zero interest, you need to calculate ahead of time. Like, okay, so if I owe, let's just say $3,000. Actually, no, let's make something bigger. $10,000. $350 payment every month is not gonna cover the complete $10,000. So you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna have to spend about maybe $800 in 12 months to be able to cover that credit card. Now, if you look at this example, I only have $350. If you put $800, you only have $150 left. I mean, $150 left after all of that, and you still have that much left over. That's actually not too bad. I know it may be a little discouraging. It just means you don't have a lot of wiggle room. So just, plan things. You have to look at how disciplined you can be. When I had to save a lot of money, I didn't have anyone else. I didn't have a family. I didn't have a fiance, girlfriend, anything. It was just myself. So I was very comfortable living like this, living below my means to get rid of this debt. Because I knew once I got rid of my debt, I would be free. I'd have a lot of flexibility, and trust me, once you get to the other side where you have no debt and you manage your money like this on a weekly basis, it changes your life. And I did this for a year. So I know a lot of people or some people, what they do is they get a lump sum and just pay it all off and like, all right, I'm debt free, I don't have to worry about it. It's like winning the lottery. It's a process to become successful. If you just inherit it, you're just gonna blow it just as fast as it came. So it took me a year to do this, and I did this month after month after month. So I built that habit. 12 years later, I haven't had any debt, and it's given me such freedom. It's such a great feeling to know that I don't really have to stick at a job or at a business because I have that flexibility. I've been able to travel around the world. When I got laid off, it didn't affect me at all. I took a 6-month vacation. So these weekly habits, daily habits for some people will end up saving you a ton of money and changing your life drastically if you stick with it. So I'm glad that you guys reached out to me got it. But remember, you got to use these tools. And if you don't use the tools, you'll never get to the other side. And trust me, when you have no debt, it is an awesome feeling.